Ahí estamos, Galacticos. Here we are, ready to talk about the game. Sigue Colasas, our friend that is already connected. How are you, man? It's good to see you here. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened today in the MetLife Stadium. 80,000 people. That's a good thing. 80,000 people saw Real Madrid play against Bayern Munich. Emiliano Manriquez, what do you think will never come to Real Madrid? Nicolas Susach. We're going to do this in English today. We just did it in Spanish on Facebook. So we're going to talk a little bit of English. My friend Emiliano, Soledad Munoz, hi for you. Hello. I don't know about Lewandowski. I think it's, of course, interesting to talk about that today because of, we're playing Bayern Munich, even though Lewandowski didn't play. I think it might be, let's say, the last good or strong signing that that we can make, seeing the situation with Pogba. Now apparently he's going to stay in Juventus. Maybe Kante was taken. We were interested. We haven't really come forward in an offensive move, let's say, to get any players. But my hopes are on Lewandowski. Hopefully he will come. I think we do need a strong striker. I'm not convinced at all by Alvaro Morata. But that's my opinion. But I think after what we've seen in the last couple games, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. So let's say Mahmoud Schneid, the live was on Facebook. We just finished to do it on Facebook in Spanish, so here we're going to do it in English. Okay, let's talk about what happened today. Nice game. I think it was important to see. Very intense game. Maybe not in so many scoring chances. But they were playing like it was an official game, giving it all in every play, and that's important because preseason it's over. That's it. Preseason, time for experimentation, time for leaving some academy players, shine, is done. Next time Real Madrid steps on the pitch, they'll be fighting for a title against Sevilla, and that's in 6 days. So time for experimenting, testing time is over, and I like that. I think that was clear in today's game. We saw Zidane being more cautious, or let's say letting players stay more on the pitch and, again, experimenting less with changing the whole team at halftime. So this is the lineup. This is for those of you who didn't see the game, this is the lineup. And to be fair with you, I think that in many games this season, this is one lineup that we are going to see, maybe not this one, but we're going to see all of these players start more than one game this season. All right, maybe of all these 11 players on the screen, I'd say the one that will start the less games is Casilla, because Keylor is, let's say, less prone to get injured. But taking that out of the equation, Marcelo, Ramos, Varane, Carvajal, Casemiro, Modric, Isco, James, Lucas Vázquez, and Morata, we're gonna see all those players start a lot this season. So I think that was good. I think even though we're not counting with Ronaldo today, or Bale today, or Benzema, or Kroos, or Keylor, there will be a lot of moments in the season where we're not going to have those players available in the middle of the season, maybe for very important games. Due to sanctions, maybe some injuries. We suffered a lot from that last year, so we're going to see that for sure. So I was very happy to see that team, which will probably be the starting 11 for the Super Cup, the European Super Cup in 6 days. So it was good to see them play. So let's see what people have to say. What do you think about this? I'm going to tell you more or less some of my opinions, some of the things I saw, and then we'll comment on them, okay? Number one, I thought it was a pretty intense game. And, there were two teams that were measuring each other, knowing that in a week they're starting to compete seriously. And I liked some things more in the second half than the first. I thought in the first half, the coverage of Modric and Casemiro to when Marcelo and Carvajal came up was not that good, was not that bright. But, in general, it was good performance. It's fair to say that Modric today was kind of inaccurate, but normal. It's his first game after some weeks, first 45 minutes. Same thing for James. I think James was really good today. It's really exciting. We'll talk about James in a while. But yeah, that's one thing I didn't like that much. But one thing I did like a lot, and I don't know what you think about this, is Ibrahim Oke says one of the most entertaining games in the preseason. Absolutely agree with you. One of the things I liked a lot was on the ball and off the ball. There's a lot of mobility in the midfield, and I like that a lot because we saw Casemiro is always kind of the anchor, but we saw Modric orbiting around him, coming between the center backs to get the ball out when we have it, and standing right in front of him when we do have it. So in case we lose the ball, that something Modric doesn't do a lot, Casemiro is right there. But we saw initially Isco on the left, Lucas Vazquez on the right, and coming back on the pressure. And then when we didn't have the ball and had to kind of hold back, we saw Morata on his own, kind of there as a lone man up top. But Isco, Lucas Vazquez, and James and Modric doing that pressure very well. But the mobility I'm talking about is we saw Isco on the left, but also putting some pressure in the middle and sometimes on the right. The same thing with Lucas Vazquez, kind of overlapping, and James pressuring all that front line. When we didn't have the ball and when we did have the ball, we saw not much of Isco on the right, but a lot in the middle. Again, not much of Lucas on the left, but a lot in the middle. So when they came to the middle, James would open more a little bit, the same as Morata, and I think that means we have a lot of options, and I like that a lot. I think that's good news because we're seeing a strong team without Cristiano, without Bale, without Benzema, without Toni Kroos. That's definitely good news, something to be excited about. So that's one of the things I liked. What else? I like Alaba a lot. Talking about signings, I think for the left back now, well, Marcelo is the king, and Coentrao is here to sub him when it's necessary. But at some point, we're going to have to sign Alaba because he's an amazing player. He's just the full pack. Even taking the set pieces, dangerous. That I don't know if you saw it, but that one he put up in the corner, that was amazing. That was amazing. So let's talk about the subs. It's something else that I found interesting. We saw Kovacic come in for James. And they're asking us, what do you think? Should Kovacic have more time to play this season? Says Nicolas Susac. I think he will. I like Kovacic a lot. Some people don't. But I think Kovacic has a special something. Special energy, a special spark. When he has the ball, he's always thinking to move forward. He's very quick. He's talented dribbling the ball. He's good passing. He's good marking. And I don't know. I like Kovacic a lot. So I like that sub that's becoming a very natural sub for Real Madrid. It's Kovacic replacing Modric to play as Modric. I like that. That was good. Asensio came in to replace James. Definitely well. Again, first game of James after the holidays. So Zidane, this is very standard. Play 45 minutes, take a seat. I think James did a very good first half. It's not the best James, of course, but we didn't even see the best Modric either. Naturally, they're just coming back. But what I saw of James today, how mentally sharp he looked, really makes me excited and looking forward to what we are going to see from James this season. So that's good news, Galacticos. That is good news. What else? And Asensio also. The fact that Asensio is ready to play at that level, maybe on a bigger stage, we might see him getting a little bit more nervous, but so far it doesn't look like it. And it's definitely good news that now we have Asensio. Really, I wouldn't go crazy trying to sign somebody when we have like a third-line player that is so good like Asensio. Because let's face it, Asensio would be like a third or fourth sub in the midfield. Counting that Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric is a starting midfielders. So that's great news too. And then Nacho Varane, natural center-back substitution in halftime. Then 15 more minutes, and Carvajal came out for Danilo. I think that's good news, man, because I'm not so clear on the thing that Carvajal will be the starter and Danilo will be the sub. I think Zidane wants to generate that kind of competition, which is healthy for both players and for the team. And I think Danilo will do a lot better this season. I have a lot of faith in Danilo. Scored a beautiful goal today. Actually, remind me, I don't know if you saw the goal, but says, thank you, Oesca, 1, 2, 3. That's really cool. It reminded me a lot of Marcelo's goal against Chelsea. I really like that, the left back in the case of Marcelo, or right back, taking the diagonal into the box and then, taking a changed foot shot. It's a beautiful goal, and I think it's good news for Danilo. I'm excited to see Danilo score. And let's see. What do you think about Jose Rodriguez going to PSG? Says Mateo Gonzalez del Valle. I don't know, man. I'm very sad. I like Jose. It is true that, he's had his time to kind of explode and never really did it. He was affected 2 years ago by a very strong injury that kept him 9 months off the pitch, and that definitely cut his progression in the middle. That was, when he got injured, everybody was talking like, wow, man, Jose is coming along fast. And again, to be honest with you, I might be a little bit biased by now on Morata, but, I'm a lot more sad to see Jose go than to see Morata go. But, well, anyway. We have a complete squad. The only positions we need, holding midfielder and another left back. Presumably, well, left back is Coentrao. You might like it more or less, but that's our left back for replacing Marcelo. And yeah, a holding midfielder for sure. But I don't know. Let's say Jose was a good sub. I agree with you. And in a lot of games, he was a good starter. But yeah, well, good luck for Jose. A lot of people are thinking that, he went to PSG because he's going to play a lot there, and I don't think that's true. I think he's going to have maybe similar kind of competition in PSG to play as he does in Real Madrid. Great players there with Di Maria. Now they have Ben Arfa with Cavani. Don't think that Jose is going to go to PSG and conquer so easily. He's going to have to fight a lot. So my idea is like, if you're going to fight for a position, why don't you fight here? But anyway, that's what I think about Jose. Lucas Vasquez says Andrew Perez is better than Jose Rodriguez. I think Lucas Vasquez can give you more options, can give you more and different options, especially options that Zidane is interested in. More of a winger, knowing that, in the box we already have Bale, we'll have Cristiano. Bale is all over the place. But yeah, so I think Lucas Vasquez, I don't know if he's better than Jose, but he's definitely a better tool for Zinedine Zidane. I think we need Leva to win the treble. Leva is the best striker in the world, and we need him. I agree with you completely. Actually, when we're done with the streaming, you can go in our channel. We just put up today a yes or no for Lewandowski, giving you good reasons why we should sign him and good reasons maybe why we shouldn't. So go and check it out. You might enjoy it. So let's go back to the game. Kante wanted to stay in the Premier League. Morata or Mariano? Good question. Let's be fair here. Morata is a more consolidated striker. He's done it at Juventus. And he's older and, he's been there. And I think he's a more complete striker. And Mariano is still a youngster with, a lot of energy in these preseason games that, of course, is very exciting for them to play. But, again, feelings. My feeling watching the game today is like, man, I'd keep Mariano. In the 20 minutes he had, or actually 15 minutes he had, he showed more. He showed more hunger. To me, Morata is like maybe he doesn't have the feeling he has to prove that he's a striker for Real Madrid, and I don't understand why. It's like, what have you done? Like, who have you beat, Morata? Like, why do you have this feeling that you don't have anything to prove? That maybe like you've already earned your position. I don't agree with that. And I hope Morata changes that mindset, because if he plays with that little bit of apathy sometimes, a lot of people are going to be very angry. But anyway, says Morata doesn't play with a lot of energy. I agree with you there, man. I don't think he plays with a lot of energy. In my opinion, Morata está iniciando, no le mates. I'm not killing Morata, man. I'm not killing Morata. I've said it once and I will say it again. I hope, or I would be happier if in 1 year Morata has scored 45 goals and I have to eat my words and apologize. I would be happier if that happens than if I have to, I told you so, and have 1 year of Morata scoring 6 goals and not winning anything just for the pleasure of saying I told you so. So yeah, I don't want Morata to fail. I'm not killing him. I'm just saying that, my feeling is after seeing him play is like, I'm not convinced. It's a matter of opinion, man. I am not convinced. Maybe some of you are. Jose Garcia says, hello, Vitaly. Hello, Jose. Okay. So that's about the starting lineup and what we saw in the game. What else? What else do we have to talk about? All right, talk about Alaba. Again, I say at some point we're going to have to sign Alaba. What else did we see? What other things do you want to talk about? My MVP for the game today was Marcelo. I think, James or Isco, okay. So to finish the point about Marcelo, I think it's pretty clear that Marcelo is pretty comfortable taking on that offensive role when Cristiano is not there, when Bale is not there. Even though Modric and James were there today, they were not 100%. First game after the holidays, they only had 45 minutes. We didn't see the best version, especially of Luka Modric. We saw a lot of great things. He's a genius. But we saw a lot of other things that, normally you don't see in Luka Modric, and it's normal. It's natural. Same thing with James. I think James did a good job. But, I'm very happy with Marcelo. I think he's shown how much of a leader he can be to this team when necessary, preseason, Champions League, whenever. So I'm very happy about Marcelo. What about James or Isco? Let me ask you something. Why instead of James or Isco, like what we saw today, James and Isco? We saw a lot of very good moments between James and Isco, and I think in a lot of games this season, they are both going to start. As I was saying, the team we saw today, we might see that team start in many different games this season. We're not going to have Benzema for the 60 games of the season, for sure. We're not going to have Cristiano for the 60 games of the season, or Bale. These players, even though it hurts to say it, they're very prone to injuries. And, we've been suffering many years with the injuries of Bale, with the injuries of Cristiano, with the injuries of Benzema. So James and Isco would be my answer. Kovacic or Isco, depends. Depends for what. For playing closer to the box, I prefer Isco. He's a quicker, generating those 1-2s and creating those spaces near the box. For replacing Modric as a more like a total midfielder, kind of orbiting, again, I'm liking that term today, orbiting around Casemiro, I prefer Kovacic. But still, let's say Marcelo or Roberto. What Roberto? Say, would you like to see Aubameyang or Roberto Carlos? Okay. Well, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. That's a tough one, man. If I divided it in two parts, can I do that? Like, for example, for defending, I'd keep Roberto Carlos. If I have to put a lineup against a team that is, that is strangling us and we're defending, I'd probably have Roberto Carlos. To play a game where we have the ball and we have to be more creative and, let's say, have more magic in offense, I would play with Marcelo. I don't know what you think. Even though, Roberto Carlos in offense wasn't that magical, but was so powerful. That shot he had was, can't compare that with anything. But anyway, let's say, me puede saludar Said Rueda, Andy Rueda. Said Rueda, big shout out for you guys. Thank you for watching this. How do you see Real Madrid this season? I see them winning. Hopefully winning the league. To be honest with you, and I'm going to throw an opinion here. I hope you don't go crazy on me. I'd rather see Real Madrid win the league than the Champions League this year. Even though it would be amazing to see Real Madrid be the first team. Actually, no. Yeah. I might have to take that back. But yeah, despite the fact that we won it last year, is the league, man. I'm really, my hopes are on the league. We've lost our presence in the league. In the last 8 years, we have won 1. In the last 9 years, we have won the same amount of leagues as Atletico. That's already hard to say. I imagine it's very hard to hear for you guys. But anyway, that's my answer. So, I'm going to shout out some of you guys, and we're going to be ending this. I hope you have enjoyed the analysis of the game. Let me know in the comments, as you're doing, if you agree or not, and what do you expect for the coming season. Go check out the video on Lewandowski, the yes or no. You're going to enjoy it. So, let's say some shout-outs before I go. Anime Tutoriales, Luis Mifsut. Shout out for you, man. Giorgio G, shout out for you. Ibrahim Oke, always shout out for you here in the YouTube live streams. Controller Sparks, Sebastián Crespo, Ibrahim Oke, Milady Cañas. Sí puedo hablar español, pero lo estamos haciendo en inglés because the Spanish one, we did it on Facebook already. ¿Te gustaría ver a Aubameyang? Luis Mifsud, take care. A la Madrid, Rey Unicornio Supreme, a la Madrid nada más. Rey Unicornio, Mahmoud, say hi to me, to Mahmoud Schneid, our good and long-time friend Mahmoud Schneid. Michael Caetano, Giorgio dice en FIFA, man. Michael Caetano, Michael Catano, I'm so happy to see you here, man. A Barca fan, jumping in on the Real Galacticos live stream. I respect that. I respect that, Michael Caetano. So Andrew Perez, great live stream. Thank you, Andrew Perez. Anyway, Galacticos, always a pleasure talking football with you, especially after seeing Real Madrid play. I'm so excited to see Real Madrid, go back on the pitch after all this summer national teams. That was great. But it's always nice to see Real Madrid play. I think it's going to be a great season, very exciting and long one. We're going to have to go to Japan. It's going to be a long season. We're going to play Copa del Rey. Hopefully, we won't be knocked out for doing something wrong in the offices. So anyway, it's going to be a long, intense season, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think of what we've seen from Real Madrid in these last 3 games is going to be good. It is going to be good. So saludos para Ricardo, for Giorgio, Milady Cañas, Electrolyte. A big up for all of you Galacticos. Thank you so much for being there. Don't forget, to share it with your friends. Let the world know about the Galacticos. Make them subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, again, a pleasure. Thank you for being there. And we'll see you very soon. Probably tomorrow. Good night, Galacticos.